Hey everyone, it's Jessica with Pretty Prints and Paper, and today I'm going to show you a continued version of my letter archive by showing how I vary my letters for T, U, V, and W. There's so many different ways to play with these letters, so I'm going to show you how I do it using the Faber Castell Artist Brush Pen and the Zig Clean Color Real Brush Pen. I'll get started with the Faber Castell and the T. To be honest, I don't do a ton of capital T's in my work, so if I had to, I would use these variations. I'm using the Rhodia grid paper for my practice, and here we go. All right. This is that T I learned in elementary school. I know they don't probably teach cursive anymore, but it's too bad. Just a thin crossbar. And you can kind of vary this if you want to do kind of that. I know it might look like a J, so make sure that it connects with your other letters. Or you can play around with a more swirly crossbar and do it that way. Or, to be honest, just make the lowercase t styles bigger. If you follow copperplate styles at all, there's a thin upstroke, thick downstroke. And from here, possibilities are you play around with that and add a little bit of a bend. You can also start playing around with adding a loop here. Or sometimes I'll add a little flourish. Like that. Sometimes if you have a TH, I will use the crossbar as the connector to the H. So oftentimes I'll use this as the connector to the next letter, but if I do a TH, I love using the crossbar. There. U, there's not a lot of variations for my U's, but I love adding that little swirl up in the front. Thick downstroke there. And here I can play with a couple things. So I can add whatever flourish I want there at the beginning. I can add some distance and add some looseness here. I can also make it a loop, and that's a different playful look. You can play with how far down this ascends, or descends, I mean, going below the baseline to add a different bounce in your alphabet. In the lowercase, thin upstroke, underturn, downstroke. Adding a loop. I'll change pens for the V. This one, remember, it's a little different because it has that real brush tip. So the angle matters a little less on this one than other brush pens do. V, I don't use V, capital V, very often, but there's a couple ways that I would draw this letter. Adding a lot of fun flourishes. So with the V, the things that I'm watching for are things like what angle both stems are leaning. So in this case, they're both leaning a little bit to the left, or you can just do the left one swaying to the left and then opening up this side to the right, and that adds a little bit of a different look. Endless possibilities for flourishes up here. Play around with that. The lowercase. With the uppercase, I kind of play with how round this bottom is. Is it super pointy? Is it a little bit rounded? Another variation that you can do. W. Are they all pointy? Are you going to start adding some roundness? Adding loops. And then you can also add that bounce by dropping one of these down lower. And again, so many flourishing possibilities here. You can bow out the W on the bottom here. They start to lean outward. Lowercase, 2 underturns. And then the more modern bouncy style, you'll hit the baseline and then you go below it. Exaggerate the loops a little bit. So there you have it. That's how I vary my T, U, V, and W. That's all I've got today. So check out my other videos to see how I vary other letters of the alphabet. Start practicing and making it your own. Mix and match some styles to see what feels best on you and your pen. And check out my next video for X, Y, and Z. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share, but most of all, enjoy it. I will see you next time. Bye.